The future to me looks bleak for the middle class. And what I mean by that is you can look all across the world, all online, all over the place, and you see the middle class continuing to get squeezed. Inflation, that's not slowing down. The continuous debasement of our currency in the United States, that's not slowing down. The cost of living, that's not going to stop going up. Everything is becoming way more expensive. And the middle class is just getting squeezed, at least in America. And it seems like it is across the world from what I can see. And we're moving towards a society to where it's like China, to where it's, the extremely wealthy and the extremely poor, right? And there is no middle ground. There's no opportunity for you to move up. That's the direction that I fear that we are heading as a country. And it's scary because, most people listening to this video are middle class, lower middle class people and just normal people, the people you interact with on a daily basis. That's who I'm talking about here. And that's who's going to get hurt the most with all this. Um, and it's frustrating, right? Because a lot of people watching these videos and that are online are around my age. They're in their 20s and, early 30s, and, they have their entire lives ahead of them. And we have to deal with these issues that the powers that be have established. And this isn't going to be a political talk. It is the reality. I mean, it's Republican and Democrat as far as I'm concerned in terms of the problems that we have here. And it's just the reality that the middle class is being squeezed, right? So that's the issue, right? So what's the solution? Now, the only solution is to develop yourself into someone who can survive in this increasingly difficult climate of the world we live in, with technology and worldwide commerce and AI and all the different stuff that we see and we hear about. Dude, man, you have to become a weapon in business. You have to become someone who is so smart, someone who is so skilled, someone who is works their butt off in order to just have a chance of being valuable and remaining in the middle class, much less moving out of the middle class and moving up, um, moving forward in the world that we're going to be living in here. I mean, just look at the advancement of AI and where things are going, man. Like that's just been ChatGPT, I think, came out like a year or two ago. I'm not even sure off the top of my head, but it came out fairly recently in the grand scheme of things. Where's that going to be in 5, 10, 15, 30 years? It's crazy to think about, man. And we're all going to be in the workforce, you know, 20, 30 years from now. So how much is the world going to change between now and then to where we have to adapt or get left behind? Right? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, man. I don't think a lot of these jobs that like most jobs, I think are going to be replaced by AI. I really do. I think pretty much everything that can be done on a computer, I think almost all of that is going to be replaced by AI. I think that, even in-person services, like, if you're an HVAC technician or, a plumber, people might say, that's not going to be replaced by AI. I agree, not right now, but what happens when in 5 years they have robots that they can, a technician will bring out to the house with them, and that can do their entire job. I'm not saying those things are going to go and become obsolete, but and be completely replaced by AI, but it'll dramatically cut down on the amount of employees that companies will need to hire, and that equals you and I not having a job potentially, right? So the only way to stay ahead of that is to develop yourself, develop your skill, and stay on top of this technology so that you don't get replaced, man. Otherwise, that's exactly what's going to happen. Most people are not paying any attention to what's going on in the world of technology, the world of AI, in the world of, crypto for that matter. There's major changes happening in the world right now, and most people are going to get left behind. That's just the reality. Most people are going to get left behind. That's the reality. And you don't want to be one of those people, man. You want to be someone who's on top of this. You want to be someone who is, able to make enough money to pay for your lifestyle and your family. And again, I talk about this in every single video. It's why it's so important that you live cheap. You live like you're broke. You don't want to be the guy spending all this money on some fancy BS house or apartment or whatever it is, living above his means, acting like he's a baller online for Instagram. That dude's going to get smashed when it comes to all this stuff that I'm talking about here, right? You want to live cheap as long as you can so that you can stay, at the very least, stay in the position you're in right now in terms of your, where you're at financially, because major changes are coming. Make no mistake about that. And I'm going to be honest, man, I don't think it looks good for the middle class. Most people that I know in the middle class are lazy, unskilled, and, have a bad attitude. That's why you see people from other countries that come here, from, Africa, Southeast Asia, even Europe, like people from all over the world come to America and they have a chip on their shoulder, man. They come here ready to work. They come here with good attitudes. They come here, you know, wanting to hustle. That's the American spirit that used to be common sense in this country. And, a lot of Americans just don't have that attitude anymore. That's just the reality. A lot of people are complacent. A lot of people are, you know, just lazy and unmotivated. And you can see that. I mean, most Americans don't even have $1,000 in case of an emergency. That's crazy to me. It's crazy, right? So, guys, we have to lead by example with our families and the people around us that are watching us. I don't care who you are, man. There's people watching you, that look up to you, and we have to take this seriously, and take control of our lives because the world is changing and the middle class is being squeezed. You're either going to be move up or you're going to move down, but there's probably not going to be a whole lot of people in the middle moving forward. And I think that number is going to continue to go down every single year. You're either going to be, wealthy or you're going to be very poor. And we can see that all over the world in other countries. We can see um, that wealth discrepancy. That's what it is. So, guys, take your time seriously, especially if you're a young dude, man. This is something I try to tell myself this every single day. It's like, take my time seriously. Don't waste your time. We all know that we only have a certain amount of time. Nobody knows how much for each person, but we're on a limited time horizon here, guys. And we got to go out there and get after it every single day, work as hard as we possibly can. Otherwise, we're all going to end up, on universal basic income living off the government. And it's hard. I know a lot of people are probably already on that, living off the government, that is. So, guys, we got to work as hard as we possibly can every day to move forward, to get ahead, and not take the opportunities that we have in America in particular, not take these opportunities for granted, man. Uber, hustle, go do DoorDash, go get multiple jobs, work a 9 to 5, start a business, start a YouTube channel, whatever it might be, man. Do whatever it is that you got to do to be able to put more money on the table for you and your family, because I really do believe that times are going to continue to get more and more difficult. Expenses are going to continue to go up and up. The cost of living is going to continue to go up and up. And it's not going to be easy for people who are, have their foot off the gas pedal. You have to keep your foot on the gas moving forward into 2020, 2025, 2026, whatever it might be, man. Keep your foot on the gas. Don't get complacent and just keep working your butt off, because the future you is going to be very, very happy, with you making that decision. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys think the future looks really positive for the middle class, but I just, with all the data that I look at, when I look online and read articles and just study this kind of stuff, I just don't think it looks good, man. I think a lot of people are going to get caught off sides. I think a lot of people are, complacent, lazy, and not going to be ready for the changes in the world that are coming. And I don't want that to be you guys, man. That's something that I try to constantly remind myself of and, stay on top of so that I'm not one of those people as well. But it's easy to kind of get sucked into that mentality. So, Anyway, guys, like and subscribe this video if this helps you guys out or, offers any kind of insight that you think is valuable. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As always, let me know if you think this is good, bad. I'd love to hear your feedback. And also give me some new suggestions on what you guys would like for me to talk about, man. I'd love to definitely listen to what you guys have to say. And, if there's some videos that you guys would like for me to make that are talking about different topics, and I'd love to, entertain that. So, anyway, guys, love you. Appreciate what you guys do, supporting the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video, and we'll speak soon. Almost butchered that ending, but we're gonna roll with it anyway, man. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.